Florida State right here in this building last week. And NC State took care of business. They've won 4 in a row, and they took care of Cal last week. So both these teams playing well at the right time.
Yeah, both teams getting a sweep. Obviously, the Fresno State game on Wednesday where Stanford was able to go out there and get an 11-1 victory in a walkout fashion. But these teams are heating up at the right time. This is where you want to be, a little bit away from the ACC tournament. But, man, we've got a lot of fun softball coming your way. And the way these two teams play softball, it is entertaining.
First of 3 here today between the Cardinal and the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack can do some things at the plate. Stanford doing great things all the way around. Who puts it together and gets the job done here in game 1? That is what we are here to find out. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for both of these squads, starting with the NC State batting order from top to bottom. Maya Townsend is leading off for the Wolfpack, followed by Carly Short. Lily Livingston bats third. Kendall Simmers in the cleanup spot. The designated player, Morgan Talley, in the 5 spot. She's one of the best two-way players in the country. Much more on her as the show continues. Taryn Massey batting 6th. Michaela Marbury batting 7th. Ellington Whitaker in the 8 spot. And Sarah Johnson rounds out the NC State batting order. Your lefties are Townsend and Johnson. NC State as a team batting .304, that's 9th in the ACC coming into this week's action. Meanwhile, for the Stanford Cardinal, as they are taking the field defensively in the outfield from left to right, Joey Economides, Emily Jones, and Kira Chan around the horn. Jade Berry at third, River Mailer at short, Addison Shepard, the freshman, at second, Taryn Kern at first, Ava Gall behind the dish, and in the circle for the Cardinal today is Alyssa Houston, the junior, 5'9" from Benton, Arkansas. Houston about to make her 9th start of the year in her 23rd appearance, a 3-2 record and a 3.32 ERA, 38 innings pitched, 30 hits, 21 runs, 18 of them earned, 41 strikeouts versus 23 walks, and opposing batters hitting .204 against Alyssa Houston.
And the thing I love about Alyssa Houston's game is there is no fluff to it. She is straight to business. You'll see it on the very first pitch. Her stuff is dirty, her stuff is accurate, and she'll go out there and make you pay right away. This is really so much of a setting the tone type of start to open up the weekend.
And Houston, a key factor of the Stanford pitching staff. Are they glad to have her back? Missed a couple of weeks, was a bit banged up in late March, and it showed a little bit. Stanford's depth in the circle tested severely without Alyssa Houston, but since she's come back, things have stabilized and the pitching has performed back to the level of where it was throughout much of the month of February.
And when you look at the roster for Stanford as well, so many upperclassmen starting, seniors all across the board alongside some juniors and a couple of young players. Economides, one of the sophomores, obviously Shepard, the freshman right there at second base, and the designated player in Bulletin. I mean, this is a team that knows how to put everything together, and when you're coming out here and you're playing for the Cardinal, it's a matter of fact of talent. It's not necessarily earning a spot. That's why some of these younger players have been able to step up and take some of these roles, whereas some of the more seasoned players have really cemented themselves in. So every single person out there has earned their spot, and they have been doing it the hard way and the gritty way to get there.
Gorgeous day, turning to evening here in Northern California. 70 degrees. High whisper clouds above the coastal foothills behind the Stanford campus. You cannot ask for better playing conditions than what we have right here on the place they call the farm, Stanford University.
Troy, are you a sports broadcaster or are you a poet? That was beautiful.
Well, if you do it right, sometimes you're both. But hey, I have my moments every once in a while. That's probably the highlight of the show for me. It's all downhill from here.
I'm taking notes, buddy. Don't you worry.
Maya Townsend leading things off for NC State. Houston rocks and deals, and away we go. Cardinal, Wolfpack. Enjoy the game, everybody. Maya Townsend, senior from Morris, Alabama, and a transfer from LSU, entering today's game on a 12-game hit streak. Townsend batting .376 overall.
Yeah, she is a huge contact hitter, so to get her behind the count very early on with these 2 strikes, that is a huge situation. Following Lindsay Leftwich as she left LSU to come over here to NC State, one of the players to come along for the ride.
Leftwich in her third year as the head coach at NC State. The 0-2. Tails well outside, count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Townsend, no home runs, 12 RBI, does lead the team in batting average with 376. Also tops the Wolfpack in at-bats, runs, and hits.
The only 12 strikeouts on the season. That's less than 10%.
We'll add one here. Swing and a miss as Houston retires Townsend.
And that really just shows off exactly why Houston is in that circle, getting you that confidence. And you see it on the very first 2 pitches. Strikes right down the middle against a great contact hitter. And that is exactly how you want to get things started for the Card.
And that strikeout pitch had a bit of a tail to the end of it. Here's Carly Short. Short, a freshman, and one of 2 young ladies from Northern California here on this roster. As a matter of fact, they actually both played on the same high school. More on that in a moment. As we're just underway here at Stanford.
And it's got to feel pretty nice to come back here. Only about an hour and a half away from home. Friends and family can come out at some point during the weekend and see your family have some action here on the forum.
Sydney Bulafin, check that, is in left field, replacing Economides after 1 batter. First pitch to Short is a called ball 1. Short, a freshman from Cameron Park, California, Oak Ridge High School, just outside of Sacramento. And Short has not come up short for much of the year, slashing .327, .497, .542. An on-base percentage, the best on the team. Good eye there. 2 balls, no strikes to Short.
And on the defensive side, Short is listed as the shortstop, and so to have a player like that in such a young position, it really just shows the trust that she has on the defensive side, and then it carries on offensively as well.
Short about to face a 3-0 pitch. Houston got the start against Fresno State on Wednesday. Through 4 innings, 2 hits, gave up 1 run, it was earned, struck out 3, but got the win. A run rule win for the Cardinal over the Fresno State Bulldogs. Strike 1.
And for a standalone midweek game, that's exactly what you want. Just make sure all those gears are still oiled up after that huge victory against Florida State on national television. And just keep things moving. Getting hot at the right time is always key.
Misses inside. That's ball 4, and Short takes first base.
Yeah, just really attacking that inside, trying to crowd up on those hands. And sometimes when you're still getting a little bit calibrated, not gonna happen.
Brings up Lily Livingston, a freshman from Arab, Alabama. Livingston hitting .306 on the year with 9 home runs and 39 RBI, leads the squad in extra base hits. First pitch inside corner called for strike 1 by home plate umpire Vince Price. John Schaefer is the first base umpire, and Jeremy Carter is at third, with Short at first. Short will be in short in the bottom half of the first. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Going back to your last point real quick, Max. Look, sweeping Florida State, a top 10 team for Stanford, that is a backslapping result. Everyone's feeling good. Everyone's telling you how great you are. Pretty easy to go on the road to a place like Fresno State, maybe lose your focus a little bit. Stanford didn't do that. The 0-2. High and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Livingston.
Yeah, that's almost like setting up a bit of a trap game right there. Everybody's focus is getting right back into ACC play, and then you just have this random game, and not random, but you have this game in the middle of the week that is a little feeling out of place.
Yeah, take the bus ride down into the valley. The 1-2. As Gall set up outside, doesn't get the call, 2-2. So yeah, in many ways, Wednesday could have been the definition of a trap game, but Stanford did not fall into it.
And part of that is because of the pitching of Houston.
Oh, and dropping 11 runs on the Bulldogs didn't hurt matters much either.
You know.
Plunks Livingston on the shoulder. Did it? Maybe it didn't.
Might have hit the bottom of the bat.
It must have, the way everyone is reacting. So the count stays at 2-2.
lively crowd here today. Everybody getting out a little early.
Yeah, and they won't have to shiver. Weather this week much better than it was last week. Foul tip, back to the screen. Livingston stays alive. Livingston, the ACC Freshman of the Week last week. She had a 6-hit series against North Carolina. That'll certainly get you some notice.
Yeah, hitting .545 against North Carolina, that'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Back to the screen. Livingston fouls off another one. Gorgeous evening here at Stanford Softball Stadium. Brand new facility, just opened up a couple months ago. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center. Slight breeze, judging from the American flag in center field. The 2-2 with one on and one out. Got her looking, called strike 3.
Fighting through it, going deep into the well, and then just getting it right there, slightly off the base. That is some nasty stuff that Alyssa Houston possesses.
Brings up Kendall Simmers, sophomore from Bridgewater, Virginia. Simmers hitting .358 on the year, slugging .600. 8 home runs, team high 40 RBI. And Kendall enters this series on a 9-game hit streak, hitting .469 over that span.
Hit .417 against Cal on that weekend.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. NC State handled Cal quite easily last week, sweeping the Golden Bears 14-8, 5-4, and then 10-9. They actually got to a big lead in the series finale, but had to hold on for dear life to finish off the sweep. Movement, catches the inside corner, 1-2.
And we know the power that Houston can generate, but that movement has been on display early and often.
Short at first, she walked. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul tip. Off the screen, count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
She had been going low the majority of the game, and there you see a little bit of a rise ball there, 66 miles per hour. So just starting to show off a little bit of the different stuff that she's got in her bag and show off the different pitches she's got.
Yeah, the more you can change speeds, the more you can change planes. And I'm not just talking about Atlanta Airport. And the more you can keep hitters guessing. Certainly is a check mark in your favor if you're in the circle. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carly Short walked. She's still at first. The pitch. Popped up. Called off. Kern comes in from first and makes the catch on the lip of the circle for out number 3. Short with the walk, but she stays put at first. And after a half inning, it is NC State 0 and Stanford coming to bat. Let's get you the Cardinal starting batting order as it begins with Taryn Kern, followed by Emily Jones batting second, Kira Chan batting third, River Mailer in the cleanup spot, Jade Berry batting fifth, Joey Economides is batting sixth, Ava Gall bats seventh, Addison Shepard in the 8th spot, and Sydney Bulafin rounding out the Cardinal batting order. A lot of lefties, Kern, Jones, Chan, Mailer, Berry, Gall, and Bulafin are your lefties in the Stanford lineup. In the outfield, from left to right, for the NC State Wolfpack, you've got Michaela Marbury, Maya Townsend, and Sarah Johnson. Around the horn for NC State, Lily Livingston at third, Carly Short at second, Kendall Simmers, check that, Carly Short at short, Kendall Simmers at second, Taryn Massey is at first, Ellington Whitaker behind the dish, and in the circle for the Wolfpack is Riley Wyman, a senior from this end of the country, but the Silver State, Gardnerville, Nevada. More on that in a moment. Riley on the year, about to make her 19th start and her 24th appearance, does have a 7-7 record and a 4.10 ERA. 73 in the third innings pitched, 59 strikeouts versus 28 walks. Opposing batters hitting .269 against Riley Wyman. Well, drop whatever you're doing and watch. Here comes Taryn Kern.
Yeah, I am already at loss of words of what she is able to possess. This much power in this position is just truly unheard of.
Yeah, we'll give you her numbers in a moment. Time and action permitting as Kern looks at the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike one. The senior from San Jose slashing .417, .561, .965. Team high 15 home runs, 30 extra base hits, and 38 driven in. She also leads Stanford in runs scored, hits, doubles, part of a five-way tie for the team lead in triples as well. Has also walked 29 times, hit by a pitch 11 times as well. Kern with a superb season. As that one gets fouled off, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Truly a superb career. If you look at the all-time leaderboard, her name is littered all throughout it. You were talking about that slugging percentage. She's the Cardinal all-time leader in that category. And you know, she's only been here for 3 years.
Yep.
Spent that freshman year over at Indiana.
Clubbed, deep to right, and out of here. Taryn Kern is still on a tear, and the Cardinal take a quick 1-0 lead.
Going ahead, tearing things up, saw that ball, eagle eye on it, great contact, lifting it all the way out. And man, that one was deep and it went far. Taryn Kern coming out. You know, a lot of times when you read some of these accolades like that we did, they go ahead and they kind of lay an egg. Nope. Right there coming out and making them pay immediately.
Just an absolutely scorching season for Taryn Kern, and it continues right off the bat. Emily Jones can do damage too. She drops down the bunt and beats the throw to the bag.
And now for Riley Wyman, she is a senior, but that's got to shake your confidence up just a touch. You come out there, you give up the home run ball at the first at bat, and then changing it up so quickly, getting right on base with a complete other factor and look there.
Brings up Kira Chan, the senior from San Diego. Chan slashing .397, .479, .653. With 5 home runs and 26 driven in.
Yeah, her gap-to-gap approach really just puts so much pressure on the opposition.
She drops down the bump, but it bounces back foul. Now, of course, one of the great sayings in sports and in life, too, is that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You'll remember Game 2 between Stanford and Florida State. Second pitch of the game, Seminoles sent it out of here, and they were up quickly 1-0, extended the lead to 2-0 later on. But then Stanford with a 7-run bottom of the fourth, and they were able to knock off the Seminoles in Game 2 of that series en route to a sweep of the Seminoles.
And for Riley Wyman, she is a senior. She's got so much softball under her belt. So yes, you can be shaken in this situation, but with all that softball under her belt.
A quick throw, and Chan is safe. Well played by the NC State infield, but Chan just too speedy.
Call her Hot Wheels, man. She's got some wheels under her.
So the first 3 have reached, and the Stanford top of the order has continued to do big-time damage. Now we reach the heart of the Stanford batting order with River Mailer. Mailer, a senior from Monroe, Washington, hitting .341 on the year, 1 home run and 30 RBI. Mailer, also part of that 5-way tie for the team lead in triples with 3. Right back to Wyman. Barely had to move. 1 away.
Yeah, that was just a matter of ping pong in that situation. You'll see Mailer come out there when she gets another opportunity on a 14-game hitting streak. So, you know, after having that one come right back to the pitcher, it's going to be dug into her brain.
Here's Jade Berry, the junior from Queen Creek, Arizona. Slashes this one opposite field off the screen for a quick strike one. Berry hitting .318. Team high 12 doubles, tied for that category with Taryn Kern, of course. Also part of the five-way tie for triples with 3. 4 home runs, 34 driven in for Jade Berry.
And she got to that tie with the triple against Fresno State on Wednesday.
The walk-off variety to complete the sweep. Bouncer right to first, the hesitation, and everyone's safe. Taryn Massey just kind of hesitated a bit, tried to size up her options, decided to go across the diamond.
Yeah, I understand.
Now everyone's safe.
I understand the idea of trying to get the person in more of a threatening situation out, but you can't hesitate, especially with the blazing speed that everybody possesses right out there on the bases. You just got to go ahead and make it happen.
And already a conference in the circle. Mike Bosch, NC State assistant coach, coming out to have a word with Riley Wyman and catcher Ellington Whitaker. Wyman appeared in all 3 games of NC State's series against Cal last week. In game 2, she went 6 1/3 and got the win. From Gardnerville, Nevada, which is about 50 miles south of Reno.
Right up there in the northern aspect of it. Probably pass by there if you went snowboarding up in that area.
Yeah, perhaps. Pop on the other side of the mountains and head down towards Minden, that area, Douglas County. Gardnerville is right there. Well, the bases are loaded with 1 out for Joey Economides, sophomore from West Covina, California. And she drops that one down to center field for a base hit. Jones scores. Chan scores. And the Cardinal keep it going. It's 3-0 Stanford.
One of the hottest teams all across the entire lineup, and we are seeing everybody getting it done early and often. The Stanford team is peaking at the right moment, and we are seeing it across the board.
So Economides with her 31st and 32nd runs batted in on the season. Runners at the corners with Economides being lifted for a pinch runner. That'll be Sophia Jin, freshman from Danville, California, over in the East Bay. Coming in at first, with Jade Berry over at third. And Ava Gall about to step up to the plate. Gall, junior from Lakeside, California. Gall with a .321 batting average, 3 home runs, and 21 RBI. Third team All Pac-12 back when Stanford was in that league 2 years ago.
Don't make me reminisce.
Gall takes the first pitch, throw down to second, cut off. And Jin makes it 2 runners in scoring position.
She's been described as the ultimate contact hitter, but when she gets on base, as she's been used so many times, it's just little things like that. Her speed, if you get a good get off on that bag, you are not catching her.
Fly ball, center field. Townsend makes the grab, and the Cardinal make the tag. 4-0 Stanford. Sac fly RBI brings Jade Berry home.
Troy, I blinked, and I'm looking up at this scoreboard now, and I'm just thinking, what has happened?
Yep.
Wyman is a very talented player, but I think this really just shows how good Stanford is becoming as this season progresses.
Addison Shepard looks at the first pitch inside for ball 1. Shepard, a freshman from Kingwood, Texas. Shepard hitting .298 on the year, 8 home runs and 29 driven in. Had just 1 hit last week in the series against Florida State, but boy, was it a big one. Fly ball to right. Long way to go for Sarah Johnson, but she makes the catch in foul ground, and the side is retired. Stanford puts up a 4 spot, and after 1 inning of work, Cardinal lead the Wolfpack 4-0 here on ACC Network Extra. Four nothing Stanford with the lead over NC State, 1 inning in here on the farm. Game one of this 3-game set between two teams carrying significant winning streaks into this one. Top of the second begins with Morgan Talley. It looks at the first pitch strike from Alyssa Houston. Talley, a freshman from Palm Harbor, Florida, hitting .331 on the year. Team high 11 home runs, 37 RBI. And Talley's been magnificent, not just at the plate, but also at the circle. She's the current ACC Freshman of the Week, also the current D1 Softball National Freshman of the Week. And she just was a one-woman wrecking crew against the California Golden Bears. How about this? Last week overall in 4 games, because they also played Eastern Carolina, 8 for 16 at the plate with 13 RBI and 2 grand slams. That's just at the plate. In the circle, she appeared in 4 games, went 3-0 with a save, struck out 14 in 11 innings worth of work. Is that something I can interest you in?
Man, all that went over my head. I just heard amazing, tremendous, great, terrific.
Now she's on base after getting hit by the pitch. Swing and a miss by Taryn Massey, the sophomore from Roxborough, North Carolina. Massey with a .269 batting average, 5 home runs, and 18 RBI, has struck out a team-high 20 times.
Yeah, but you got to love stories like this. Roxborough, only about 40 minutes away from Raleigh, just a hometown kid getting an opportunity to play for her hometown team. These are the things that just make you smile.
Yeah. No balls and 2 strikes to Taryn Massey. Waves at it, swing and a miss, strike 3. Houston's 3rd strikeout of the evening.
One thing I love so much about Houston's game is just the fact that she doesn't telegraph anything. You can't really tell the arm angle. You kind of just really have to sit on it, wait, and just bite your teeth, bite your mouth guard if you got one in there, and just trust your process.
Good movement in the early going by Houston's pitches. Michaela Marbury will try to solve it here. She fouls one off the fists. Marbury hitting .240 on the season, no home runs and 11 RBI. She's a senior from Accokeek, Maryland.
Yeah, just one of those leaders in the locker room, but she's called the silent assassin by her team.
Yep.
Not much of a talker, but she delivers with her actions.
A 4-year senior. I didn't realize that happened anymore. You stay 4 years in the same program. I didn't realize that happened anymore in this day and age in college sports.
Especially when you get a change up in the coaching staff as well.
Right, yep. Houston about to deal the 0-2. Too high, skips off of Gall's glove, and an easy 60 for Morgan Talley, check that.
Yeah, we saw the rise ball work with success at one of the at-bats in the top of the first. In that situation, you go back to it and just catches your catcher a little off guard.
So Morgan Talley at second. Fly ball, center field. Jones makes the grab. Talley gets about 15 feet between second and third and then retreats 2 away.
That's great positioning there by River Mailer at shortstop. Just gives her an opportunity to cut everything off, not allow any sort of advancement by Talley. Or pardon me, that was Barry at shortstop. And yeah, just not really giving any situation to allow anybody to position forward.
Ellington Whitaker will try to extend the inning. Whitaker senior from Houston, a transfer from Baylor. Big swing and a miss by Whitaker. On the year, hitting .242, no home runs and 2 driven in. She started the final 2 games of the series against Cal and went 2-3 in both of those games. Gall tries to frame it, doesn't get the call. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just a little high and outside in that situation.
Tails inside and misses. 2-1 to Whitaker. It's just the 3rd all-time meeting between Stanford and NC State. Card are 2-0 with wins in 2014 and 2016 over the Wolfpack. Change up, swing and a miss, 2-2.
One thing I've noticed tonight with Houston's game, when she has a couple off balls here and there, she goes right back to her bread and butter, and then she goes right back to really just forcing you to look silly.
Morgan Talley at second, and the pitch is high. Gall has to get a bit out of her crouch to grab that one, and the count now full. Second 3-ball count for Houston. The first one came against Carly Short. She ended up walking. That was back in the first. Got her looking on the outside corner. Alyssa Houston just painting the outside and striking out her 4th batter in 2 innings of work. Bottom of the second coming up here from Stanford Softball Stadium on ACC Network Extra with the Cardinal leading 4-0. Stanford with a 4-0 lead over NC State with the bottom of the second inning about to unfold. Shadows lengthening here at Stanford Softball Stadium. 70 degrees when we began this one here. Bottom of the order is where we begin. Sydney Bulafin in the 9 spot for the Cardinal, the sophomore from Parker, Colorado. Pitch catches the inside corner for a called strike 1 on Bulafin. He was hitting .217 on the year with a couple of home runs and 10 driven in.
And one of those home runs coming at a massive moment against Florida State. One of the many heroes that Stanford was able to produce.
3-run shot in Game 2 against the Seminoles, part of that 7-run barrage that decided the game. Stanford was down 2-0. They put up 7 in that frame and won 7-2. Tails outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, with Riley Wyman in the circle, working for better success than she experienced in the first inning, in which Taryn Kern rocked her for a solo shot to begin. This one just off the fists and able to make the running catch, the jogging catch rather, Sarah Johnson over in right, 1 away.
And now it's going to be an interesting chess move. You've been through the lineup one time for Wyman, obviously not a great situation. Oh. And before I get an opportunity to say that, we're going to see a little bit of a changeup.
Well, we do have the chess move happening right now in the circle as Riley Wyman, after going through the order one time, gives way to Charlie Orsini. We'll give you more information on her in just a moment. Take a brief break here on ACC Network Extra. Stanford ahead 4-0, and NC State turning to their second pitcher. New pitcher to begin the top part of the Stanford order is Charlie Orsini, a grad transfer from Sydney, Australia, came to NC State from Tennessee. Orsini about to make her 12th appearance of the year, an 0-1 record and a 12.83 ERA. 12 innings pitched, 25 runs, 22 of them earned. Opposing batters hitting .453 on Orsini. From Sydney, Australia. Last time we saw Taryn Kern, she was rounding the bases with her 16th home run of the season, a solo shot. That gave Stanford a quick 1-0 lead. She looks at strike 1 here.
It's interesting to see what she was able to do at Tennessee and then kind of carrying it over here. 10-0 in 10 starts and 31 appearances in her career at Tennessee. And then just really falling behind the 8-ball a little early on in her career at NC State.
And Orsini made 27 appearances over 3 seasons at Tennessee. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kern thinks about it, doesn't go for it. It floats right down the middle, called strike 2. So Orsini goes from Rocky Top to Raleigh. Orsini deals the 1-2. Gets her to chase, strike 3.
And that's got to give you so much confidence in that situation. Seeing the home run in the very first at-bat and coming right back out, swing and a miss.
Brings up Emily Jones. Jones dropped down a bunt single on the very first pitch that she saw in the second inning. Later came around, checked out in the first inning rather, later came around to score. Both corner infielders a few steps ahead of the bag as Jones shows bunt once again and holds up according to third base umpire Jeremy Carter. That drop down bunt single happened so quickly that we didn't get a chance to tell you that Emily's a senior from Westlake Village, California. And has a 5-game hit streak coming into today. Now it's a 6-game hit streak.
Just more records being broken.
And the bump popped up into Whitaker's glove. 2 away.
Yeah, tough situation right there. Chase the pitch a little bit and then cut off the wrong side of the bat. You want to go down directly into the dirt and get that backspin. Instead, caught the top of the bat, got the upspin, and then an easy catch made by the catcher.
Yep, and that was actually the 3rd out of the inning, so the side is retired. We have 2 innings in the book, and the Cardinal leading the Wolfpack 4-0. Here at Stanford Softball Stadium, 2 innings in, Stanford with a 4-0 lead over NC State. Great to have you with us here on ACC Network Extra. I'm Troy Clarity. He's Max Agress, and Max has the call of the 3rd and the 4th innings.
Troy, you've been handling things so poetically. I don't know if I can follow you up there.
You got this. It's all good. Piece of cake.
Sarah Johnson in the bottom of the order here, hitting .256 on the season, 12 RBI. She is a threat when she can get on base. Well, we might be getting a little too far ahead of ourselves in that situation. 1 ball here on the first pitch. It's been so nice to have Alyssa Houston back in the lineup. Came back against St. Mary's after a 9-game absence and, just happened to go 5-0 since then, huh? Big swing and a miss, bringing up the 1-1 count.
Houston struck out 4 so far. This is the 9th batter that she has faced on the evening. Of course, all ACC 2nd team last year.
High, and she's continuing to use this rise ball in this situation. And it's interesting to see how she's really just painting the different corners.
Got Whitaker looking on a pitch just shaving the outside corner to end the 2nd.
Here's the 2-1 off the plate. Good discipline shown on display by Sarah Johnson here. So for NC State, you're looking for any sort of momentum in the situation. And with the batter's count right here, you gotta be feeling like you gotta make something happen. Big swing and a miss, and just like that, it's the 3-2 count.
Oh, and Johnson, a legend, the JUCO ranks, 1st-team JUCO All-American last year, played 68 games, hit an even 500 and drove in 98.
This one high and off the plate, so an opportunity to get on base with the walk as we return to the top of the order. Townsend, another opportunity. So from lefty to lefty, the 2 lone left-handed hitters here for NC State at the bottom and the top of the lineup.
Good discipline, good eye shown by Johnson.
This is a great, pardon me, go ahead.
Houston deals her 2nd walk of the evening.
Reaching out, Houston catches it low, the throw to second in time. A double play from the pitcher, and the athleticism is on display there for Alyssa Houston.
Well, you gotta love it when the pitcher fields her position, and looked pretty calm and cool about it too, and decisive as well. Charged the ball and knew exactly where to go to get the lead runner out at 2nd.
Yeah, kind of peek into the matrix there, just saw exactly where it was gonna be. Knew where to deliver perfectly. Carly Short at her 2nd at-bat now. Has a runner on first in Johnson. Struck out in her 1st at-bat in the top of the 1st. This one inside, and it's just ticking inside of the zone. 1-1 count.
NC State was picked to finish 12th in the ACC preseason poll. They actually had a 15-game win streak earlier this year.
Contact made. This one will be picked up by the shortstop turnaround, and the throw is not in time. Runners on first and second there. River Mailer did a good job really just scooping it up, but couldn't quite get there in time. So a little bit of confidence growing here for NC State. Here's Livingston back in the right-hand part of the order. Second she'll see in a row. This one crowding inside off the plate, ball one. Livingston struck out looking in the first. Here's the 1-0, same spot, the throw to first. And the runner is safe. Short able to dive back in time.
Yeah, same pitch, same result as that one just tailed in towards Livingston. And that brings Danielle O'Toole-Trejo out of the Stanford dugout to have a chat with Alyssa. Danielle, of course, a fabulous pitcher in her own right during her days with the Arizona Wildcats. It was certainly a lot of fun watching her back in those days.
Yeah, it's got to give you so much confidence to know that you got a coach that has done it on such a high level. Yep. And has gone out there and she knows exactly how to teach it as well.
Of course, the head coach of Stanford softball, Jessica Allister, in her 9th year here on the farm. Stanford class of 2004, an All-American catcher during her days here at Stanford. And for obvious reasons, proud to have resurrected the program as she has, bringing Stanford back to Oklahoma City with a couple of appearances very recently. As this resurgence has meant a lot to her, and this season means a lot to her as well. With a lot of the senior leadership, she wants to see the season pay off for them.
Here's the 2-0, lifted up. And this one's gonna be called off. Taryn Kern makes the grab. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Kern just charging it, grabbing it, and making the play. So Short still on first, Townsend out at second. And Kendall Simmers now getting her second at bat here.
Yeah, sun not that much of a factor, at least on that half of the field. Shadows continue to lengthen.
First at bat was a pop-up. That pitch called a strike.
By my unofficial count, that's the 9th first pitch strike that Houston has dealt. Out of 13 batters faced now.
Off the tip of the bat, charging from center field and making the grab. Emily Jones comes up, makes the play, and gets the out. Leaving 2 stranded on base. NC State will resign. Stanford coming up in the bottom of the third. Kira Chan, River Muller, and Jade Berry due up. Back here in the bottom of the third, it's a 4-0 lead for the Cardinal as the Pats came out hot, nearly made it through the entirety of the order before some nice pitching there by Charlie Orsini, able to stable the ship for the moment. Kira Chan, the senior out of San Diego, an opportunity to take the plate here as we have our junior announcer, one of the best traditions, in my honest opinion. Giving some love to the players. Holds off on the first pitch, that one low and outside, called ball one.
Or as I like to call this segment, the who's going to take my job here in about 15 years segment.
Time comes for all of us.
Yep, undefeated.
Swing and a miss at the second pitch. Brings up the 1-1 count. When you look at some of these numbers across the board for Stanford hitting, it is just absurd to see Kira Chan coming up, climbing above 400 after her last at-bat where she was able to get a single. Holds up on this pitch, and it will be inside of the strike zone, called strike two.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised when compiling the numbers here. I was actually somewhat surprised to see Stanford coming into this game batting .334 as a team, just 6th in the ACC. But I think that says more about the ACC, perhaps, than it does Stanford.
Off the tip of the bat and going over to the second basewoman in the throw to first in time. That is the first out here. Ground out for Charlie Orsini, and it brings up River Mailer.
4 up, 4 down for Orsini since she's coming to the circle.
And River Mailer swung on the first pitch the last time we saw her. Now she'll give an opportunity here. 4-game hitting streak on the line. Or pardon me, 14. Can't discredit her all those games. During that streak, she slashed .390, .431, .537, 17 RBI. Weak contact, right over the hand, sends that one foul.
Yeah, just a bit in front of that one. I think she might have been fooled just a little bit. It's 54 miles an hour. Might have been fooled a bit by the off-speeder there.
And Orsini coming from the land down under, spending all that time in Rocky Top and having a quality start right now. Start to her. This one hit foul off the tip of the bat, makes it a 1-2 count with 1 out.
Well, in front of the previous one, sent that one into the Stanford dugout, and then just rolls that one down the third baseline, well foul. So let's see where this one ends up.
Here's the 1-2. Mailer holds up. Doesn't swing on that one.
Mailer from Monroe, Washington. Not too far away from Kirkland, Washington, which is where the Junior League Softball World Series is held. She actually threw out the first pitch there at one of the games a couple years ago. That was pretty neat.
The 2-2 off the plate, bringing up a full count here with 1 out. You can't talk about Kirkland without talking about the greatest company on this green earth, Costco.
That place scares me.
Really? You're not a Costco guy?
Yeah. I get intimidated.
Here's the 3-2 off the tip of the bat, off the chest of the shortstop. And on an error from short, or likely going to be an error, Mailer able to extend her hitting streak up to 15 now.
Yeah, perhaps may have just hit a divot along the way that short wasn't prepared to handle. But Mailer will certainly take it and advance over the first base safely. And it is scored E6.
And so the offense back rocking and rolling for the Card. Jade Berry out of Queen Creek, Arizona. Up to bat. Holds up on the first swing. And yes, indeed, 1-0 count. So I got to close up that point real quick. It scares you, man. Is it the crowds? What is it?
It's a lot.
It's a lot, yes.
It's a lot of stimuli.
Yes, I understand. 1-0 off the plate. A slide into second. And that is a steal for Mailer. When you have that much speed and only 60 feet between the bases, you're going to get some great opportunities.
Mailer's third stolen base of the year. I am down with the hot dogs, though.
Oh, $1.50, come on. It's the best deal on the planet. Here's the 2-0. Off the tip of the bat and off the shoulder, giving the opportunity to round home. And safe at second, a throwing error, giving another opportunity to go all the way to third. So a double sends one home as Mailer is able to advance after the error as well. So a couple errors stacking up by the NC State defense. And now what was a strong start for Orsini starting to come away at the seams.
Well, that one just ate up Massey over at first base. And it's intriguing to note, last year, NC State committed 70 errors. Last in the ACC in that category. This year, much better as they came into this series, tied for 7th, at least in fielding percentage. So they performed better defensively, but it's kind of falling apart here a little bit and threatening to fall apart here a bit here in the third inning defensively for the NC State Wolfpack.
I don't know if there are divots there. Maybe the shadows are tricking somebody, but a couple.
That was all shade.
Yeah, there you go. So just a couple of hiccups here and there, and another run comes in to score for Stanford as it is 5-0, 1 out. Joey Economides, another opportunity here.
Yeah, 2 errors scored on that last sequence. We'll fill you in on whom got charged with those respective errors once we get that part of the picture in officially.
Swinging on the first pitch, and that barely clips the tip of the bat.
So Barry reaches on the fielding error by the first baseman, Taryn Massey. And Sarah Johnson, the right fielder, got charged with the throwing error.
E3, E9 sounds about right. Now a little bit of a holdup in the action. Cleaning up the plate just a bit.
Well, and you sense this might very well be a fulcrum moment for this game. As the Wolfpack best served, limiting it to just 1 run for the Cardinal here in this frame.
Here's the 1-0. High and outside. That one brings up the 2-0 count. Joey Economides and her first at-bat. Singled over to shallow left field. Emily Jones was able to score. Kira Chan came in as well. And you just have to factor in that threatening pressure there at third as the count now 3-1. Pardon me, it's a 3-2 count, I believe. No, 2-1, pardon. Third time's the charm there. Got to fix over the count. The big board had it a little off.
Yep. Yeah, Vince Price gave the 2 and the 1 signal, and now it's 3 and 1.
It's foretelling the future.
We knew we'd get there eventually.
Here's the 3-1. Holding up on the swing, and that gives her an opportunity to get to first on the walk. Take a deep breath here for Orsini in the situation. The meat of the order comes to number 51, Ava Gall, the junior out of Lakeside, California. Gall showed her ability from the plate, not necessarily swinging the bat, but with Stanford down to their final out in game 3, Gall was able to work that full count, load up the bases, which eventually led to Shepard's grand slam walk-off. That's the thing, you Gotta really show off your patience.
Yep.
Swinging the bat is obviously a huge part of the game, but at the end of the day, discipline really takes over. Economides on first. Barry is on third. And Gall holds up as this pitch is well high.
Yeah, as a wise man once said, you got to know when to hold them.
No one to fold him.
Know when to fold. Oh, you've heard that before.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, okay.
It's a classic. Here's the 1-1 off the tip of the bat, finds the hole, and that'll send Barry home. Economides gets to second, and the RBI single for Ava Gall.
Pretty easy stuff there for Gall. Just a nice, easy swing, putting it back in play and through the middle of the infield for the base hit. Stanford not getting big hits here, and actually that's just the first technical base hit of this frame for Stanford. His errors have really doomed NC State so far in this frame.
Now here's Addison Shepard. Swings on the first pitch, calling strike one. Yeah, we were talking about this in the pregame, talking about how both these teams have a good amount of power. Obviously, Stanford, we see all across the lineup, expected to see some power softball being played, but in this situation, we got the home run to start things off. This one inside, and this will load the bases up with the pitch hitting the batter. 6-0 the count. And a very precarious situation as Sidney Bolifin comes up to the plate. Bottom of the lineup. Sidney Bolifin in that 9th spot. Hitting .213 on the season after the last at-bat. The drop pitch, and holding up just in time is Whitaker, not allowing any sort of opportunity for Economides to go ahead and try to make a play there. Fans getting behind everybody right here. And this will bring up a little bit of a conversation.
We do have action in the NC State bullpen, by the way. It is a right-hander. Cannot quite tell whom it is, but someone's warming up in the pen for NC State.
You know a trick that I've learned over the years? Everybody talks about, oh, the binoculars. But if you grab your phone, if you can do it, you can zoom in and try to use that as a pseudo binocular.
Yeah. Well, my problem is a hill that's in my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't see through dirt. Jordana King, by the way, is coming to pinch run at second, replacing Gall.
Bases loaded. This one hit through the gap. One coming home with Economides, and a second coming safe. So King checks in and immediately has an opportunity to go around the bases and come home. A 2-run double for the 9th spot hitter in Sidney Bolifin. And Stanford continues to power through 4 runs scored with only 1 out. And that is 8 runs on the big board for the Cardinal here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, Kira Chan grounds out to second to start this frame. Since then, E6, E3, walk, RBI single, hit by pitch, and a 2-run single.
When you're in this position in the bottom of the 3rd, it's got to be a little bit tough there. Taryn Kern, a 3rd opportunity at bat here. Hit that home run on the solo shot to start off the day, and then struck out swinging with Charlie Ossini coming up. Let's see if she can get that confidence back. Swing and a miss here. Brings up the 1-1 count, 1 out.
Well, when Orsini's been at her best, it seems like it's been when she's gone to that change and kind of crossed up the Cardinal just a bit and been able to throw it for strikes.
And really just changing the velocity on the pitch as well. Here's the 1-1, right over the middle of the plate, strike 2. think just getting a little bit deeper in her bag and just changing up the velocities will give her a good opportunity. Here's the 1-2, holding up, off the plate, 2-2 count.
With as dangerous as Kern has been and with first base open, there's part of me that's somewhat surprised that they just didn't say, hey, just take first base here. But then again, that means you have to face Emily Jones, so.
There's no let up in the lineup, I'll tell you that.
Nope.
This ball a little bit low, making it a full count now. Whitaker just having to pounce on top of that ball.
And, you know, the last time these two squared off against each other, Orsini won the battle with the strikeout swinging.
Here's the payoff pitch, and does it once again. And I think you answered your own question in that situation.
Yeah.
That's why you don't allow it.
Yeah.
She showed the ability to go ahead and catch her swinging now. Another opportunity here.
Yeah, and on the same pitch that she retired Kern back in the second inning as well. And as soon as she got it to go over for a strike three, I could hear the shout, the exaltation from the circle all the way up here.
Couple bunts to start the day for Emily Jones. Got to first on her first bunt, and then popped that one out. The catcher made the grab on her second bunt. With 2 outs, runners on second and third, being Bulifin on second, Shepard on third. Possibly see the opportunity to swing the bat here for Emily Jones.
Ninth batter of the frame for the Cardinal.
2-0 is the count. A wild pitch, gives an opportunity to come home from third. Shepard goes ahead, jogs home, and another run scored for the Cardinal here. That is the 5th here in the bottom of the third. Another error likely going to come up as well.
And that one went just about 41 feet and bounced in front of Whitaker.
Emily Jones still at bat. 2-0 here, shuffles forward in that slap stance, and that is called the first strike.
Well, you have a couple run score on technically a couple of errors, but on the same play, and now you bring another one across on a wild pitch. Not a good recipe for staying in softball games.
And especially as you tried to set the tone early, things have gone in the way of the scorching red hot Cardinal. Here's the 3-1. Holds up, and ooh, they'll say that one barely ticked the bottom left corner. Full count, 2 out. Bulifin on third. Here's the payoff. Through the gap once more. RBI single for Emily Jones. Bulifin comes home, and it is raining, it is pouring, and Stanford coming ahead and putting up 6 here in the bottom of the third. At this point, Orsini got off to a hot start, had flashes and moments, but I think whoever was warming up in the bullpen, we're about to get an answer of who it is. So a changeup right here. Kayla Feckel will have an opportunity. We'll tell you all about her on the other side of the break here on ACC Network Extra. Kira Feckel, a reliever, a redshirt sophomore, getting the opportunity here. 263 in a small sample size, but more than anything, so inspiring to come back after a 391-day absence previous to the season.
Yeah, Kayla Feckel tore her ACL January 25 during preseason practices, missed the entirety of last season. Worked super hard to get back, was certainly an inspirational story for this team, and now she is back in the circle for the Wolfpack.
Coming in a tough situation. As Stanford is in the lead 10-0, 8 hits and a lot of scores off of 2 errors here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs, Jones is on first, and it's Kier Chan holding up, and it's a 1-1 count.
When you feel for Charlie Orsini a bit, retired the first 4 batters that she faced, but then got betrayed a bit by her defense, and then the Stanford bats started to just chip away at her as the inning went on.
Swinging and catching the tip of the bat, since that one foul. Now it's 1-2 count. And for NC State, they have a model of stack them up, just brick by brick, really trusting in the process. So even when the wall fouls down, you still gotta just get right back at it, start laying brick by brick, and that's exactly how you get out of this treacherous third. So 6 runs scored off some great at-bats from Stanford, as well as some questionable defense by the Wolfpack. And going to the top of the 4th, we'll get Tally, Massey, and Marbury due up for the Wolfpack. Back here from Stanford Softball Stadium, Max Agrest, Troy Clarity here on the call with you, and it's been all Stanford early on. 4 runs scored in the bottom of the first, and 6 runs have been scored here. Alyssa Houston, after 53 total pitches, 3 innings pitched, only giving up a hit, walked 2 runners, had 4 strikeouts. And she will get a breather after pitching that complete run rule win victory against Fresno State. So Ava Bulanti, the right-handed freshman out of Redwood City, just right down the street from here, comes in 3-0 on the season, 3.98 ERA, and 19 1/3 innings pitched.
And Belanti's really helped stabilize the pitching staff a bit, because let's face it, for a moment or so in mid to late March, it was pretty much Zoe Prostyko and Anna Brewer, and that was pretty much it. But they've given Belanti more chances, and even more importantly, Belanti has given the coaching brain trust reasons to give her opportunities. It's paid off for the most part.
Yeah, had an 11-pitch perfect inning against UC Davis to help out with that shutout. And Morgan Talley, the utility 2-way player, so it's freshman on freshman now. Hit by a pitch in the second, and swings at the first pitch. An opportunity to come out and make the grab there from Emily Jones. A routine play from the woman out there in center field, and that's the first out.
Belanti, a well-decorated player from right here in the Bay Area. 2-way star for St. Francis, which has turned out a Cardinal athlete or 2 over the years.
Taryn Massey holds up as it's ball one after the first pitch here. And for Taryn Massey, this could be huge. She's known as the team's designated energy leader. So if she can go ahead and get you a little bit of a spark, you never know what could possibly happen. But really at this point, trailing by 10-0 in this situation, I think it's just about, once again, going back to the moniker of stack them up, brick by brick, just get something building and see what you can do to carry that momentum in going forward.
Yep, you're not going to necessarily, at this point anyway, get back into this game with one swing of the bat. But get on base. Let's see what everyone else can pick up the bat and see what they can do.
Lifted up into right field, and the grab made by Chan. Very few pitches thrown in the situation, and 2 outs on 2 flyouts. Working to the bottom of the lineup here in the 7th spot. It's Michaela Marbury. So you go from the energy leader to the silent assassin. I'll tell you what, they got some great nicknames. Flying out to left center. Last time we saw her. After the first pitch here, it was an 0-1 count. Showing some patience, 1-1 now.
NC State 3-5 in away games this year. They played 21 straight at home earlier this season. How about that?
This ball hit over to the shortstop, the throw to first, in time. That's the 3rd out, showing that arm on display. River Mailer throws the ball to first, and Kern able to get the out right there. Terrific defense on display by the Card. 1, 2, 3, down and out, and 2 up. It's gonna be Mailer, Barry, and Izzy Cadion. Going to the bottom of the 4th, couple errors and some great swings from the Cardinal. Give them this 10-0 advantage here. 8 hits on the early evening here for the Cardinal to the 1 of NC State. And the big difference right there, the 2 errors on 1 play, and another just giving some opportunities for Stanford to go ahead and just show off on top of what they can do offensively, what they can do if you start to make some mistakes as well.
Yeah, a 6-run 3rd inning for Stanford as the game just really started to spin away from the Wolfpack and really started to reach whirlpool velocity. And Jessica Allister, I think, is going to take this opportunity to start giving some new faces, some different faces, some opportunities to take some swings here.
That's going to be a little bit of a different walkout song. Some Bad Bunny playing over the loudspeakers. Mylea Perez getting an opportunity to check in there. Another local product out of San Ramon, California. The Doherty Valley High School sophomore. 278 on the season. 12 runs, 5 hits, and 3 RBI. She's got a couple doubles and 3 walks as well. We saw she came in the middle of the 5th inning against Fresno State and had an opportunity to pinch hit. And in this situation now, another opportunity as it's a 1-1 count.
That was Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
I don't know my Bad Bunny,
It's okay.
admittedly.
If you need, I got you a playlist. Tip of the bat, hit foul down the left sideline, and now it's a 1-2 count.
That was a pretty neat halftime show to watch in person.
Oh,
by the
yeah,
way.
exactly.
That was pretty neat, of course. Bad Bunny did in halftime at Super Bowl, which was held at Levi's Stadium, just 11 miles down the road. That was pretty neat to see in person. The crowd was rocked. Everyone had a good time.
So you got to see through the bushes at all those folks.
I did.
Holds up on that pitch, and now it's a 2-2 count. Yeah, on TV, that's something that I always wondered. On TV, obviously, that's what the halftime show is made for.
Right.
That is the audience that you're targeting. But in person, it still kind of carries over some of that weight. This one hit foul into the netting.
In some ways, you have to know where to look, number one. But clearly there's, and I thought I would go back and actually watch the whole thing afterwards because there was like 87 things that I missed.
Yeah.
You know, that you just don't pick up because you don't pick up those details, you know, when you're sitting, you know, at the bottom of the second deck.
Low pitch and drop, bringing up a full count now. So good job fighting right here for Perez.
It was still fun.
Yeah, I mean, even going ahead, watching it in a party, it's hard to pick it up. So I had to go back, watch it on YouTube after the fact. And yeah, I completely understand. I felt like I was in that same situation. Holds up. That'll be a walk. So Mylia Perez here gets an opportunity, and the patient shows off. She'll take her spot on first base. So Adriana Callahan now comes in. A lot of this young blood, the freshman out of Franklin, Tennessee, with an opportunity here. 211 on the season in her 19 at-bats, 4 hits, 3 RBI. She's shown the ability to go for the long ball and get some extra bases. A double, a triple, and a home run in her young career here for the Cardinal. Holds up on the first pitch. Bringing up a 1-0 count. Lifted into center left field. Diving, couldn't make the grab. The single will allow Perez to get to second. And the young players for the Cardinal are showing their stuff here in the bottom of the 4th.
Boy, and that ball just sliced and died in front of Townsend. And she really, unfortunately, from her defensive positioning, just didn't really have much of a chance to get there in time.
Joey Economides now. Holds up on the first pitch, making a 1-0 count. Yeah, just a great backspin on the ball, forcing it to really die down. Not much of a wind to carry things or stop things in midair.
No.
Out there in center field. Right-handed hitter has had some success early on today as Economides singled into shallow left to start and then had a walk on a 3-1 count.
A nice pitch by Feckel. It just tailed right away from Economides.
And it goes back to it a little bit too high, making it a 2-1 count. And Feckel really just working those placements of the ball there, not really putting too much velocity on these pitches. This one, fly ball into left field, coming out to the edge of the dirt to make the grab. That'll be the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. Great job just coming up and making the grab for Marbury. Jordana King, now an opportunity. She's been primarily used as a pinch runner so far in her freshman campaign here. Out of Seattle, Washington, Garfield High School. She's got those Pacific Northwest roots, and she swings at the first pitch. Tracing back and making the grab from her spot at second is Massey. So runners still on first and second, but that'll be another out on back-to-back plays.
Oh, that goes down as Jordana King's first career at-bat. Appearing in her 30th game, but of course mostly as a pinch runner. She does have 11 runs scored entering today with 1 more earlier in this one, but that is her first at-bat.
So we're seeing the entire roster on display here. Alan Murchison, the senior out of Hayward. And, you know, if you're from the Bay, you act a little different to Mac Dre playing over the loudspeakers.
Hayward, that's my neighborhood.
Moreau Catholic product.
Yeah.
And man, what a great moment here in 2025. Her first career hit for the Stanford was a 2-run home run against Portland State. And this will be her 5th at-bat here of the season. Pardon me, her 4th. Has 1 RBI. And this is one of the moments that's got you feeling so good. Somebody that hasn't had too much opportunity to play throughout her career as a Cardinal, but just a hometown product, sticking close. And one of those folks that just brings you a smile, as we alluded to earlier with some of the players for NC State. Stanford, of course, with this 10-0 advantage, giving an opportunity for some players to get some opportunities. And this one off the tip of the bat will be sent over to Livingston, who makes the throw to first in time. 3 outs after a little bit of a shaky start. Kayla Fickle able to get out of that situation as we get to the top of the 5th here on ACC Network Extra.
Top of the 5th inning here with Stanford leading NC State 10-0. Troy Clarity, Max Agress here with you on ACC Network Extra. Stanford with 4 in the first and then adding 6 more in the 3rd. And trying to take game 1 of this series and keep pace with the teams that it was looking up at and tied with in the ACC standings. More on that as we go. We begin this frame with Ellington Whitaker in the 8th spot for NC State. She struck out to end the 2nd inning. And Ava Belanti throws a first pitch strike to Whitaker. Stanford was tied for 4th in the ACC when the day began, tied along with Louisville. And looking up at Duke, Florida State, and Virginia Tech. A hot shot past Kern into right field. So Whitaker is aboard.
We keep talking about the same points, but they're ever so true. Just building a little bit of momentum. At the end of the day, this is 1 game in a series of 3 over the long weekend. Give yourself an opportunity to look back on something, get yourself a little bit of confidence as we move forward into the weekend.
Brings up Sarah Johnson, who walked to lead off the 3rd. Pitch up high for ball 1. Duke, Florida State, and Virginia Tech all won today. So Stanford needed to keep pace with them. Louisville played 2 against Pitt today and beat the Panthers, both ends of that doubleheader in Louisville. So Stanford will keep pace with the 3 teams it was looking up at in Duke, Florida State, and Virginia Tech, and the team it was tied with in the standings in Louisville, the Cardinals, and the Cardinal. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Sarah Johnson. Jordana King, by the way, has stayed in the game and is in left field All other defensive starters are back in the game for the Cardinal, so no other defensive changes there.
Just like that, a 3-0 count.
And that's high for ball 4. So the first 2 batters reach for NC State after Whitaker with the hot shot single underneath Taryn Kern's glove at first. Whitaker at second, bottom left of your screen. And Johnson now at first.
Something to factor in as well. Stanford currently leads 10-0.
Yep.
And the run rule is in play if Stanford can come out here and keep that goose egg on the board. But with runners on first and second, this does give the opportunity for NC State to go ahead and try to keep this one going.
Trying to extend the game are the Wolfpack here. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Maya Townsend, who is 0 for 2 so far today. Her 12-game hit streak is in jeopardy.
And she is just such a great contact hitter for the Wolfpack.
She slaps at that one, keeps the hit streak going, and NC State extends the game. 10-1, the Wolfpack are on the board. As Gabby Wilson was pinch running for Ellington Whitaker, and she comes across with the run.
That's the 3rd hit of the day, and that's why those slap stance hitters are just such a dangerous threat right there. You get such great contact, and then with that slap, it just carries your momentum and just shoots it forward.
Yeah, the rules have kind of changed recently as far as, where everything needs to be when you're attempting a slap hit. So that's kind of maybe lessened occurrences like that. Maybe kind of lessened slapping a little bit over the last couple of years, but when you still pull it off, it's still a lot of fun to watch. Carly Short ahead in the count 2-0.
It's always interesting when you see rules change like that because there's so many players that just build their entire system of at-bat around slap hitting.
Yep.
And then when those things change up, you gotta learn quickly.
Yep. Gotta adapt. Crashing in from third, Jade Berry, and falls in front of her, but the count goes to 2-1. Short walked in the first and got an infield single in the third, so she's actually reached all of her plate appearances so far tonight. Sun continues to set. No more shadows on the field. Lights haven't quite taken effect just yet. Off the fists, one hop to short. The throw to third gets one.
Just good understanding of softball in that situation. You want to get the most dangerous threat out and was able to do so in a terrific position there. 1 out.
Brings up Lily Livingston. 0 for 2 with the strikeout looking in the first and popped up to first in the third. And sends this one to deep center field, going back Jones. She turns and watches it go. Big shot by Lily Livingston. And the Wolfpack showing some fight. It's 10-4.
72-mile-per-hour exit speed, but man, that one was a rocket off the bat. Goes 241 feet, hitting the stanchion, holding up our cameraman out there in center field. And we talked about it. NC State getting an opportunity to extend this one here in the 5th.
Yep. The inning not done yet. Just 1 out. Top first, Kendall Simmers, who has a 9-game hit streak coming into this game. That's in some jeopardy. Townsend was able to extend her streak earlier in this frame. Simmers will try to follow suit. One ball, no strikes. Simmers homered 13 times last year. That's NC State's freshman single-season home run record. Tails low and inside, 2-0.
Yeah, funny situation here. She is hitting very high in terms of average, hitting 352 at this point. But coming into the weekend, she was hitting 417 in terms of when there are runners in scoring position. So as you clear the bases, statistically, just not.
She gets on board here, though.
Yeah, just going ahead and chopping. At the end of the day, you see a tree in front of you, and right now the Wolfpack got that axe, and it's going to take a lot of swings to go down, but right there, just another opportunity to keep things moving. And so, for the philosophy of the freshman and Eva Bulanti here, you got to think she's been so clutch in these moments up to this point in the season, but now just a little bit of sweat and a little tingle down her back.
Morgan Talley will try to add to NC State's tally here in the top of the fifth. Say that 3 times fast.
Your tongue twisters, huh?
Yeah, Talley hit by a pitch in the second and flew out to center in the fourth. 4 across so far for the Wolfpack, as it has found a way to extend the game. One ball, no strikes. And that's a shot underneath Jade Berry's glove. And it keeps on moving for the Wolfpack. There was no action in Stanford's bullpen, but that might be about to change. As I think I perhaps see Anna Brewer.
You are absolutely correct. I got a little bit of a higher angle than you. I can see over the dirt pen. It is Brewer warming up.
And Danielle O'Toole-Trejo is out of the Stanford dugout and headed out to the circle. Well, about 10 minutes ago, it appeared that the Cardinal were on their way to cruising to perhaps a run rule win over the Wolfpack, but NC State has said nuts to that. An RBI single by Maya Townsend and a 3-run bomb to center field by Lily Livingston. And they've since tacked on back-to-back singles, so hold everything. Zoe Prostaico has now jogged and made her way down from the Stanford dugout out to the bullpen as well, so she might start to warm up out there as well.
And for Belanti, she still is in a pretty good situation here, and this just gives a young freshman more opportunity to learn at the end of the day.
Yep. Taryn Massey 0 for 2 today. Hit to center. Jones makes the running grab, 2 away.
So a lot of contact made on some of these balls, but in that situation, her defense came up, helped out, and 2 outs kind of make her feel pretty good in this situation. Wanted to get out of the inning and not get pulled.
9th batter of the inning coming to the plate, Michaela Marbury. Flew out to center in the second and grounded to short in the 4th. Belanti threw a scoreless inning against Fresno State on Wednesday. Not quite faring as well here. 2-0. Game 2 of this series tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern time. On a hop and then a roll that eats up Mailer. And everybody is safe, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, very similar situation to an E6 that we saw by NC State. I don't know if there's a divot there or something going on out there in the dirt. But a very similar look to what we saw a lot earlier in the day.
Of note, they've changed on the scoreboard. NC State had 3 errors at one point, but now they've changed it to 2. So time and action permitted, we'll try to get to the bottom of that. There was 1 error on one play, and then there was a 2-error sequence on another play that played a 2. Well, Ava Belanti's evening is done, and here comes Zoe Prostaico to try to get the final out here of the top half of the 5th inning. More on Zoe in a moment. Wolfpack still battling. It was 10-0. Now it's 10-4. Back to Stanford Softball Stadium in a moment on ACC Network Extra. Zoe Pristaico in the circle for the Cardinal, a 5'11 sophomore from Huntington Beach, California. Has 30 appearances on the year with 11 starts, a 12-5 record, and a 2.91 ERA, 159 strikeouts versus just 43 walks, and opposing batters hitting 190 against Pristaico. Cardinal were up 10-0, but the Wolfpack have caught fire. Pristaico trying to extinguish it here and give Stanford a chance to pick up the bats in the bottom of the fifth and perhaps tally up some runs and still find a way to win this thing in 5.
Pristaico's really made a huge sophomore leap, 5.0 ERA in her first year as a freshman, dropping that all the way down under 3. And she's just really been putting a ton of innings under her arm, and she has been such a key force to this pitching unit of Stanford this season.
Ellington Whitaker, who started all of this with a single, later came around to score on Maya Townsend's RBI single. With the bases loaded and 2 out, and the first pitch to Whitaker is outside for ball 1. That last play, by the way, was scored an error on River Mailer, and we did get some clarification on why NC State now has 2 errors instead of 3. Swing to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Go back to the 3rd inning, a hard shot by Jade Berry to first base that got past Taryn Massey. Was initially scored in E3, but now has been scored a single. So take the error away and add a hit for Stanford. Meanwhile, Whitaker is about to face the 1-2 pitch from Pristaico.
And Pristaico coming out and throwing heat immediately. 64+ miles per hour on those first couple of pitches.
Gets the outside corner called, strike 3. And Pristaico thwarts the threat by NC State. Wolfpack do push 4 across, however. Stanford with a 10-4 lead. Bottom 5th coming up in a moment here on ACC Network Extra. Stanford 10, NC State 4. First game of the series between the Cardinal and the Wolfpack as we take you to the bottom of the 5th inning. Gorgeous evening here in Northern California, the brand spanking new Stanford Softball Stadium. Facility that opened in February. Stanford Softball actually played their games at Stanford Football Stadium last year, a venue that worked better for softball than by any right it had to. And Stanford was able to pack them in for 13,207 last year against the California Golden Bears. That was a fun day. It's been fun to watch this program break the seal on Stanford Softball Stadium. Izzy Kakatian is pinch hitting in the 9th spot for Sydney Buafin. Kakatian, a freshman from Torrance, California, hitting .302 on the year, 2 home runs and 9 RBI. Popped up, going back Simmers, makes the catch for the first out. Kakatian, by the way, travel ball teammates with one of the young ladies on NC State, Carmen Montez de Oca, whom we have not seen. Montez de Oca, also from the Sacramento area. And Kakatian, even though she's from Torrance, they still played on the same travel ball team. Taryn Kern at the plate, looks at the first pitch for ball 1. Kern, a solo homer to lead off the game in the bottom of the first for the Cardinal.
Since then, a couple strikeouts there, so definitely want to get back in the hot streak.
Yeah, Charlie Orsini was able to win both of her battles against Taryn Kern. So even the game kind of spun out of control under her watch. Defense didn't do her many favors there, but Orsini can certainly take that as a positive going forward. 2-1 to Kern.
Yeah, and that one high and nearly at the head, just doing a good job seeing the situation, avoiding it. You don't want to take anything 52 miles per hour off a helmet.
I don't want to take anything 1 mile an hour off the helmet. Outside, 3-1.
Played football during the leading with your head era still, so unfortunately I've had my fair share of those.
And the approach to that game has certainly changed over the years. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fires it right down the middle, count full.
I'll tell you one thing, everybody hates how quote-unquote soft the game has gone, but as somebody who is only 30 years old but has the body of a 50-year-old with all the injuries that I got, trust me, it is better.
That's ball 4. Taryn Kern's aboard. Anyone who says the game of football is soft needs to spend some time on the sidelines during a high-level college football game or an NFL game, and their opinions will change drastically.
I'll send you out to a JUCO summer practice, and I'll tell you what, your opinion will change in that situation. It doesn't matter. The moment you see it live in action up that close.
Jones drops down the bump, but it goes foul. Jones reached on a bunt single in the first, came around to score, and had an RBI single in the third.
Started talking about the football stadium, and all of a sudden, we're just on that ball route.
Bounces to Whitaker, and Kern is safe at second.
And the one skip, everybody was almost thrown off just for a second here. And I gave an opportunity for Kern to go ahead and get there. That one just sliding off the fingertips of Feckel.
Yep. For Stanford spring football in action. They'll have a practice tomorrow. There'll be a season ticket members Q&A with General Manager Andrew Luck and Bradford M. Freeman, Director of Football, Tavita Pritchard. One of many events happening on this campus tomorrow. 1-1. Playable. Who's going to get it? And Livingston comes in, makes the snow cone grab, 2 away.
Cardinal-Palooza, one of the most lovely times of the year here on the campus of Stanford.
Yeah, softball will be in action here. Baseball right next door. Beach volleyball beyond the center field fence. Men's volleyball at Maples. So plan accordingly if you're coming to the farm, and park accordingly too. First pitch to Kira Chan is a ball. Chan with a bunt single in the first. She came around to score. Struck out in her last plate appearance in the fourth.
Great public transportation on campus as well.
I made sure I got my parking permit. 2-0. Infielders, corner infielders even with the bag. And Feckel gets the outside corner call, 2-1.
It's really staying on the outside, painting those outside corners right here for Feckel.
Too far inside there, 3-1. Kira Chan, the batter, she actually hit Stanford's first home run in this facility. That was back on February the 6th. And Chan takes first base after the walk.
Huge situation here. Runners on first and second, and Stanford having the opportunity to try to close things out against the redshirt sophomore coming back from injury this year. One thing you got to factor in with somebody coming back from injury as you get a visit over to the circle here is you may have your stuff coming back to you at first, but as fatigue continues and your mechanics start to break down a little bit, that can factor in and possibly one of the reasons why we saw that skip ball and pitch.
Yeah, conditioning, getting your legs back underneath you. Just getting back in that rhythm, that muscle memory that maybe you miss out on. I mean, look, rehab is great, practice is great, but it only carries you so far.
You need these live situations. You need the pressure down your back because, what is it Mike Tyson once said? Everybody's got to play until you get punched in the mouth.
As I recall, Mike did his share of punching. Popped up, playable. Massey makes the grab, and we go to the 6th inning. 10-4, Stanford with the lead here at Stanford Softball Stadium on ACC Network Extra. Great to have you with us here as we begin the 6th inning. Stanford with a 10-4 lead over NC State. A new inning and a new pitcher for the Cardinal. Max Agress will tell you about it and take you through on the play-by-play of the 6th inning.
For Stanko, throwing a third of an inning, getting out of that logjam situation. And now it's Anna Brewer out of Columbia, Tennessee. Another one of those young-blooded players coming in with an opportunity to deliver. 4.81 ERA, 5-2 on the year. Opponents have been batting at .315 against her. Watch out for that heavy down ball. She just possesses, putting a lot of power under that one as well. Mid to high 60s is what you expect out of there. We're seeing a substitution for the Cardinal. See if I can get my eyes working out there as Kira Chan comes out to left field, replacing Jordana King.
Which begs the question, who is now in right field? My zoom isn't that great. And my binoculars are in my bag. Of course.
Here, let's see if I can do a little bit better.
Be prepared, Claire.
It looks like Zoe Perstyko is actually coming out and playing right field. 44 from my 25X view. Yes, that is exactly it. So, Perstyko listed as a pitcher slash infielder. I think she can add another position to her tag now. So a few changeups here and there. And the first pitch for Anna Brewer will be called strike one. Barely taking that outside corner. Setting it. That 66-mile-per-hour pitch. Another opportunity. 2 pitches, 2 strikes here for the freshman.
Yeah, 2 plate appearances, 2 walks for Johnson so far tonight.
And Johnson here at the 9th spot in the lineup. The lefty hitter gets some contact on that. Off the glove, the throw to first, full stretch out, and it is in time. River Mailer continues to show off her athleticism as she makes the throw to first for the first out here.
Oh, and how about the go-go gadget arm catch by Taryn Kern with the reach? And able to hang on to it for the out.
I can tell you, I'd stretch every single night, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get in that position.
I could, but there would be irreversible consequences.
Back to the top of the lineup. Maya Townstead got a hit on that slap opportunity that found the hole to get us going. And now another opportunity here as she's chatting forward on that. Charging the bases are the corners. Makes contact as it is tipped past the umpire. And now the 0-2 count.
Anna Brewer in the circle, 2-time All-State, 2-time state champ back in Tennessee.
Anna's really gotten a great opportunity here. Was more of a reserve rotational player over with the Tigers. Since coming over, they're showing her opportunity, and when she's been given chances, she's gone ahead and made it happen. 370 average, slash line 450, 421. And she is fighting in this tough spot as it's 1 out and an 0-2 count. Slaps it over, the bounce, caught by the shortstop, and another great throw and catch. Taryn Kern making another grab with a terrific job by Mailer, and that is another out for the Cardinal here. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. So we move down the lineup in the 2 spot. It's Carly Short. Let's see what the shortstop is able to do with her at-bat. Swings at the first pitch. Fouled near the Stanford dugout. Anna Brewer, pretty efficient with her pitches to get this one started. .68 mile per hour on that one. High, making the count 1-1. Man, my hands hurting just looking at some of these pitches. She's putting a ton of power behind them. The windmill caught off right above the hands. It's a 1-2 count, 2 outs. Anna Brewer, you know, she's got a lot of those swing and miss opportunities. This one will be hit foul. Another opportunity keeping this at-bat alive for Carly Short. And the ground ball orientation, we've seen on display, the defense has really picked up and helped out their young freshmen. She's part of that combined no-hitter against UC Davis. Here's the 1-2. I'll call this one well high, bringing up a 2-2 count. Still 2 outs. Got that Mortal Kombat ripping over the speakers here. This one off the glove, goes over to the second basewoman, and another throw to first is done well. Shepard makes the grab after it ricochets off the glove. And that is 3 outs here in the top of the 6th. Moving to the bottom of the 6th, Stanford looking to try to close things out as it is 10-4 here on ACC Network Extra. Back here from Stanford Softball Stadium. It is 10-4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Kayla Feckel will continue her job in the circle as the reliever. Into the lineup, we find the middle, the meat. Jade Berry, an opportunity to come up here. Get the Cardinal back in their offensive groove. That pitch, just another bowling ball shot there from Kayla Feckel. This time, not much damage because there's nobody on base. Just losing it at the bottom of the windmill before she has an opportunity to really deliver here. This one low and outside to make it a 2-0 count. One for 2 on the day as Barry holds up on this one. Another low and outside ball. They say it does not touch the strike zone. So 3-0 count just like that.
Barry, a team-high 60 RBI for Stanford last year. En route to All-ACC third-team honors.
Holds up, and this one off the plate once more. 4 pitches, turns into 4 balls, and an opportunity to take her spot on first base. So Jade Berry gets to first on a walk. Joey Economides now up to bat.
Well, the walk-off run is now at the plate.
9 hits on the evening here. Holds up as it's strike number 1. So Feckel going right over the plate this time. Low pitch picked up by the catcher. And Whitaker is able to hold things up there at first, make it a 1-1 count. Economides, the All-ACC freshman team selection from a year ago, rips this one down the left sideline foul. 1-2 is the count. Economides, you talked about it last year, just a historic freshman season, 4th most in season history in terms of home runs, and program history, I should say, in terms of home runs with 15 a year ago. This ball is dropped by the catcher, and also given opportunity to advance Berry over to second. So Jade Berry goes to second off the drop ball from Whitaker, and it's still a 2-2 count. High, swinging at it, just barely clipped the top of that ball. And the count stays 2-2. Economides had a 2-hit day against Fresno, and it's been a big situation with the runner on second. Off the left hip, holding it right in front of her is Whitaker. This will bring up the full count. Here's the payoff pitch over the plate, and they will call it a strike. First out here for NC State in the bottom of the 6th. And that at-bat, Barry was able to get over to second. So Barry on second, Ava Gall an opportunity to come up to bat.
Yeah, and Feckel did a terrific job of just hanging in there and just battling and throwing strikes at the end.
Gall in that 7th spot, holds up on the first pitch to make it a 1-0 count.
A couple of baseball scores of note right behind us. Stanford baseball hosting Miami, and the Hurricanes lead the Cardinal 4-2, top of the 7th.
Gall able to hit this one in the gap, and it drops right outside of the dirt. Rounding the bases, getting to home plate is Barry, sliding down to second is Gall. An RBI double for Ava Gall. And the Cardinal lead 11-4.
Yeah, and Gall just kind of fought that one off a little bit. Went off of her fists. And she can certainly power the ball out of the yard, but didn't really need to there. Didn't really have to. Just found the spot in the right field portion of the outfield and was able to get the ball to drop. And Barry scores all the way from second.
No outs. 1-0 count here. And this pitch over the plate to give it a strike.
Another
0-1 count now.
Another baseball score of note. NC State fans, cover your ears. Run rule. Wake Forest beat the Wolfpack 22-1.
Oy.
Yeah. Tough day at the yard for the Wolfpack in Winston-Salem.
Stanford looking to walk this one off. Lifted into left field. This one drifts foul. And a fan will get a souvenir out there in the dirt. 1-2 the count, no outs. Shepard off the tip of the bat. Gall shuffles back, the throw to first. Results in the out. Second out here in the bottom of the 6th. So 1 run scored. Ava Gall is on second. Sydney Bullifin coming up to the plate. She showed what she could do with the long ball against Florida State. And now in a massive moment, Bullifin comes up. She's looking to repeat. So Kayla Feckel finding out of some tough situations here in the bottom of the 6th. And the reliever trying to keep things alive. Going to the 7th. Holds off on the first pitch, making it a 1-0 count. Tip the bat, knocked back into the stop. 1-1 count.
Bullefin's first career at bat for Stanford came last year. It was a solo home run to seal a walk-off run rule win over Fresno State, February 9th of last year.
Very similar situation here with the run out there at second. So Stanford is able to get that runner in to score from second. And be able to close things out in inning short. Bullifin, another swing and foul back. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, good cut there.
And it seems like Feckel, after a few balls just slipping out of her hand, has got her confidence back and some of that dirt on their hand to get the grip. Reaching for it, lifted into left field. And the grab is made. Marbury comes up and collects the third out in the bottom of the sixth. So Stanford with the advantage, 11-4, sends us to the top of this seventh here on ACC Network Extra. Max Rest, Troy Clarity here on the call. Troy, take it away.
All right, thank you, Max. 11-4, Stanford with the lead over NC State. Cardinal with 4 in the first, 6 in the third, appear to be on their way to a run rule win, but NC State with 4 in the top half of the fifth to extend the game. That brings us here. We're going to play, well, maybe not the full 7. We'll see how this half inning goes, but we'll go into the 7th with this game. Zoe Prostyko has re-entered the circle after coming in and striking out Ellington Whitaker to end the 6th inning. She crosses up Lily Livingston here. Livingston with the biggest blow in the 5th inning, that 3-run home run to make it a 10-4 game. So she's 1 for 3 overall tonight. Sydney Bulifin is now back in left. And Kira Chan has gone from left to right. And Ava Gall stretches out and gives it her all.
Full Superman dive, going out there, getting the glove in the perfect position. What an athletic play from the catcher. Heck of a first out.
Yep. Pitchers appreciate plays like that from the catcher. And Ava Gall had a big smile on her face before getting back down in her crouch. Kendall Simmers looks at ball 1. Simmers singled in the 5th. So again, Kira Chan has moved from left field back to right, and Sydney Bulifin is back in left field. Big swing and a miss. Prostyko rears back and deals heat. That Simmers can't catch up with.
And that is the game you expect from Zoe Prostyko. Just a ton of heat. That one's 67 miles per hour.
Fly ball heading into left field foul territory, but well out of Bulifin's range. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that one a little high outside of the box, just chasing it, lifting it into foul territory. The amount of swing and miss stuff that you see with Zoe Prostyko, man, it is a look of beauty.
The 1-2 from Prostyko facing Kendall Simmers. The pitch. Got her looking on the outside corner. And the Wolfpack down to their final out.
You'll enjoy this one. One of my first games called here at Stanford Softball Stadium. I had just called a men's volleyball game right before that, and we were over at Burnham, and I chipped a tooth in that. So in the very last strike there, I was trying to say backwards K, and my tooth just got stuck, and it just turned into a bleh.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was over here trying to get my embarrassment out right here, but I'm glad to see the tongue twisters collect everyone.
That's Max Agress laying bare his soul for all to hear. And Morgan Talley swings and misses at the off-speeder. 1 ball and 1 strike to the freshman. Talley hit by a pitch in the second, singled in the 5th. The current ACC freshman of the week. And NC State, intriguingly enough, they have just 4 true freshmen on their roster. All 4 of them were starting in opening week. And an NC State player has won ACC Freshman of the Week honors in 3 straight weeks. Talley twice and Lily Livingston along the way. Right now, the Wolfpack are down to its final strike.
And it really just talks about the recruiting of Leftwich and her staff, getting all this young talent as she continues to build this program.
The 2-2. Got her. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's your ball game. Stanford with big runs early, and they hold on to win and beat NC State. The final score, Stanford 11, NC State 4. Cardinal take the first round against the Wolfpack. Stanford now 28-12 on the season and 13-6 in ACC play. And importantly, in the grand scheme of things, they keep pace with the teams that were ahead of them in the ACC standings, as Duke, Florida State, and Virginia Tech also all won today. Stanford and Louisville were tied when the day began. Louisville won both ends of a doubleheader against Pitt today. So Stanford keeps pace. Meanwhile, NC State falls back just a bit. They're now 6-9 in league play and 25-18 on the season. Max, it started early, literally. First batter for Stanford, Taryn Kern, puts it over the right field fence, gives Stanford a quick 1-0 lead. 4 for the Cardinal in the first, 3 for the Cardinal in, or check that, 6 more for the Cardinal in the third. NC State battled back when we thought it was gonna be a run rule win for Stanford, so kudos to them for that. But Stanford still putting NC State in too big of a hole for them to climb out of.
Yeah, and NC State showed off their grip. The Wolfpack came together. They fought hard, and they looked to carry on a little bit of momentum carried into the rest of this weekend. But Cardinal Palooza, man, the energy that is brought to the stadium, it's going to take a lot for them to go ahead and try to get Stanford off their course.
NC State, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Stanford with 11 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Riley Wyman gets charged with the loss for the Wolfpack, and Zoe Prostaico gets the win. Wyman now 6-8 on the year, and Prostaico now 13-5 on the season. What will game 2 bring? We'll find out. 2 p.m. first pitch, 5 p.m. Eastern time for our friends watching from that part of the country. No matter where you are, be sure to join us here for us with it here on ACC Network Extra. Stanford versus NC State. Cardinal trying to take the series outright, while the Wolfpack will try to even things up. That'll do it for us here from Stanford Softball Stadium. On behalf of our terrific ACC Network Extra crew and my broadcast partner, Max Agress, I'm Troy Clarity. Final score, once again, Stanford 11, NC State 4. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and accomplish greatness.